The Leader of the Opposition not only opposed it, threatened to resign from the front bench over it, and walked out on that event. So terrible was it that in that moment of national unity there were only a few people who were so determined to sow division that they just couldn't cop the concept of saying sorry for the wrong thing being done, for children being stolen from mothers, fathers and grandparents, families and communities. Could not stomach it. Could not stomach it.
But the House, one, notes that the Prime Minister is dividing the nation with his divisive voice proposal by deliberately refusing to provide detail to the Australian people. Two, notes that the Prime Minister promised on 34 occasions to implement the Uluru Statement from the Heart in full, which includes the Makarrata Commission's national treaty-making process, but has since continually denied that there will be a treaty. Three, notes that the Minister for Indigenous Australians said work on a treaty was to start within weeks, but the Prime Minister is now walking that back. In two train-wreck media interviews, the Prime Minister is telling different audiences different things on the treaty. Four, notes that despite the Prime Minister being shifty on whether a treaty is being worked on, he's already allocated $5.8 million for the Makarrata Commission national treaty-making process, but refuses to explain how $900,000 of this money has already been spent. Five, notes that the government's Minister for Indigenous Australians has treated this House with absolute contempt by repeatedly and consistently failing to answer direct questions in question time. And six, condemns the Prime Minister for his complete inability to be upfront and honest with the Australian people.
Their commitment to legislate a voice completely undermines every argument that they make against it. Every argument. They clearly acknowledge it is needed, otherwise why would they legislate it? Clearly they recognise it will make a positive difference, otherwise why do they say legislate it? Clearly they don't see it as divisive or radical, otherwise why would they legislate it? This confected outrage by those opposite with regard to the Uluru Statement from the Heart is just that, confected, seeking political advantage by undermining the most disadvantaged group in Australia, who happen to be First Nations people.